Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, gas prices are soaring, up over $1 from a year ago. Find out if there's any end in sight.
Halloween weekend is upon us. We'll take a look at the Halloween events and trick-or-treating going on in Oxford area this weekend.
And President Biden is in Europe today for the start of his 5-day conference with European leaders. Find out what he hopes to get out of the trip coming up. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Good evening, happy Halloween, and welcome to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Lila Blue.
And I'm Gavin Norton. The price of oil is $85 per barrel more, and that, as a result, is making gas prices
may be feeling a little lighter than usual
$1
in
more
Oxford.
than they were a year ago. NewsWatch reporter Taylor Payton has a look at Oxford's soaring prices.
Wallets may be feeling a little lighter than usual in Oxford, as gas prices have risen on average over 20 cents since the beginning of October. Oxford residents are becoming enraged and taking extra measures to save money at the pump, including purchasing less than preferred gas.
I like Exxon gas, but I get it here because it's cheaper.
It is a little worrisome that they are getting higher, right?
I don't like it. Wish the gas was 99 cents a gallon, but it is what it is.
No one in Oxford has been immune to the steep price rise of gas over the past few months, especially gas stations themselves. Owner of the famed chicken on a stick Chevron, Ray Rupani, has had to raise prices on gasoline to continue to stay in the green with the high price of operating on the square.
There are multiple things involved. So it's not just the gas prices, the freight, depending where it's coming from. If it's coming from far away, then the freight is higher. So, but we know our bottom line, how much we are getting our gas for. So based on that, we set our prices,
1 year ago today, the average gas price in Mississippi was around $1.85. Today, it stands at just $3 a gallon. To put that into perspective for you, if you're filling up a 15-gallon tank in a car like this, last year it would have cost you around $27 to do so. This year, it's an extra $20 on average to fill up at the pump. While both consumers and gas station owners are hoping prices will fall in the near future, some experts are projecting that the price of oil may not drop until supply matches the current demand, which may carry into 2022. For NewsWatch Ole Miss, I'm Peyton Taylor.
Oil isn't the only natural resource on the rise. Natural gas prices are up as well, causing heating bills across the country to skyrocket as we head into the winter months.
After repaying $600,000 to the state of Mississippi, former NFL quarterback Brett Favre is exchanging words with Mississippi State Auditor Shad White on Twitter. White claims that Favre accepted money for giving talks that he never showed up for. The Hall of Fame quarterback said that he would never knowingly take funds from those in need. White fired back at Favre, calling his statements lies. Next month, the investigation will fall to Attorney General Lynn Fitch, who will decide whether to pursue a civil suit with Favre to repay the interest he still owes.
Former Clarksdale, Mississippi mayor and co-owner of the Ground Zero Blues Club, Bill Luckett, died this morning. Luckett was 73 years old. He held a long political history in the state, serving as mayor and running for governor in the 2011 election. Most, however, will know Luckett as the co-owner of a blues club with Oscar-winning actor Morgan Freeman. Luckett and Freeman opened Ground Zero Blues Club in Clarksdale in May of 2001, and it has served as a local staple since. The cause of death is unknown at this time, but NewsWatch will keep you updated.
Visit Oxford has been named 2021 Best Social Media Presence by the Mississippi Tourism Association. Organizations must be present on at least 2 platforms, including LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube. Visit Oxford was graded on its design, style, content, and usability, along with statistics showing their presence in promoting that area. The award ceremony was held during the Governor's Conference in Jackson last weekend.
And the Lafayette County Fire Department now ushering in the first ever cohort of full-time paid firefighters since the department's founding in 1977. Last Monday, the Board of Supervisors approved the employment of 2 captains. The approval also included the promotion of 1 part-time firefighter to captain and 3 part-time firefighters to full-time firefighters. Before this decision, the county only had the services of volunteers and part-timers.
Last night, the Oxford Police Department kicked off its 15th annual haunted house. NewsWatch reporter Juliana Jackson went to the house to find out the details.
Trick or treat, it's Halloween weekend and the Oxford Police Department has been hosting its 14th annual haunted house. So, let's take a look. This year is the 14th annual Oxford Police Department haunted house, and Bridget Frierson speaks to us about the importance of having this event for the Oxford community.
It started about 15 years ago in a community called Riverside. The officers there and the community just started it for the kids of that community. It was like a little small hallway, basically a little haunted hallway for them. And then it has expanded into the big haunted house now for the whole community. It gives them a chance to see the officers outside of uniform and actually having fun and interacting with the community.
Denise Strube, which is the executive director of the North Mississippi Exchange Family Center, shares with us how she is so honored to be a part of this year's OPD's haunted house.
And we're doing the concessions this year for the police department's haunted house. And this is a first for us. We've not done this before. But they've been having the haunted house for years. And we're very excited that they offered us this opportunity to have a little fundraiser and share our word and what we're doing. We're prevention of child abuse, and so haunted house and bringing the kids out here and having fun gives them a safe environment, and that's what we're all about. So.
This event is not only held for the Oxford community, but it is encouraged that the University of Mississippi students join in on the fun as well.
As a student from Ole Miss that came from out of state, I really feel like coming to events like this has helped me become closer to the Oxford community, and more than just a student, I feel like they value everybody here, and just being a student doesn't make a difference.
Juliana Jackson, NewsWatch, Ole Miss.
The haunted house is still open tonight and tomorrow night from 6 to 10.
But if a haunted house isn't your speed, there are plenty of other Halloween events across Oxford. NewsWatch reporter Sarah Brooks Adams has your breakdown of this weekend.
With Halloween in full swing, the city of Oxford is gearing up for a fun and eventful weekend. Many stores have slim pickings when it comes to candy and decor due to residents excited to make this Halloween special. Many neighborhoods are offering fun activities such as hay rides for the children.
So the family that I nanny for in Wellsgate, their parents are going to be out at a Halloween party. So I'm planning to take the kids to a hay ride, and we're going to walk around the neighborhood and do trick-or-treating in Wellsgate, and they're going to leave the bowl of candy on the front porch.
Residents with older children say they will be staying at home and passing out candy to trick-or-treaters.
As you can see, we get real excited about Halloween at our house. Our neighborhood hadn't quite caught on yet, but we have a lot of smaller kids that like to come by, and we'll just be here very excited to pass out trick-or-treat candy.
Many residents are determined to make this Halloween as fun as possible for the kids despite of COVID.
This Halloween, I'm planning on dressing up. I haven't decided what my costume is, but the kids deserve it. We're tired of COVID. We're going to be handing out candy. It's going to be back to normal, and it's going to be a blast.
If you're looking for more ways to celebrate Halloween this weekend, Oxford has no shortage of events. In addition to OPD's haunted house, Hocus Pocus and Beetlejuice will be playing at the drive-in for free.
It has been a challenge. It has been an obstacle, but in life, we are faced with obstacles every day. So it's something you kind of just have to figure out what to do and what's best for your team. And right now what's best for our cast is to be masked while singing and dancing, though. It is very difficult. I will say, especially for this musical, this is one of the most physically aggressive shows that there are.
Be sure to buy your tickets in person at the Ford Center or on their website. Hannah Baker reporting for NewsWatch Ole Miss.
After months of masked rehearsals, the production will be done without masks. You can catch the show at 7:30 tonight and all the way through Sunday. And look out for NewsWatch anchor Leah Blevins on the stage.
Coming up, the next step in the fight against coronavirus, FDA officials made their first decision on the emergency use for vaccines in children under 12 today.
We'll take a look at the decision next, but first, here's a look at your current conditions.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Learn to cough and sneeze with your pal Grover. Step 1. Realize you're about to sneeze. Step 2. Move your elbow toward your nose and mouth. Step 3. Gesundheit. 1, 2, 3. Remember to cough and sneeze into your arm or
It's so sad. It's not.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why? My. Oh.
President Biden is in Europe for the second time as president, this time meeting with European leaders, including Pope Francis, in hopes to cement the United States as the leader on climate, global economy, and the fight against the pandemic. CNN's Chris Wynn has the latest.
With diplomacy at the forefront, President Biden kicking off his second major overseas trip as commander-in-chief with a visit to Rome, meeting with Pope Francis for nearly an hour and a half.
You are the most significant warrior for peace I've ever met.
Biden, the second Catholic U.S. president, gifting the pontiff with a special military coin bearing the insignia of the Delaware National Guard unit in which his late son Beau served as a captain. The president and the Pope discussing their shared values on issues like climate change, COVID-19, and refugees.
He has a fundamental worldview that America cannot and should not go it alone, and that we work closely with our allies on issues like counterterrorism and issues of trade and economics, issues of vaccinating the world.
President Biden also meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron, their first in-person meeting since tensions arose last month after the U.S. and the U.K. agreed to help Australia acquire nuclear-powered submarines, sinking a multi-billion-dollar deal involving France. Biden's trip for the G20 summit in Italy and the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Scotland come as congressional lawmakers continue to work on the president's domestic agenda.
To show the rest of the world that we can function. That's extremely important, not just for our economy, but for our national security and our relationship with the rest of the world.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
President Biden has another 4 days to meet with European leaders before returning home, where he believes his presidency is hanging in the balance.
The Supreme Court is set to hear arguments around 2 major cases involving abortion and guns this week. One case regarding the 6-week Texas abortion ban, the second case falling over a New York state law that bars gun owners from carrying concealed handguns outside their homes for self-defense. Decisions on most of these big cases will not be made before spring due to the many months justices take drafting and revising majority opinions.
Oklahoma put to death their first inmate since 2015. Mass murderer John Grant sentenced to death yesterday after a Supreme Court trial. A witness says Grant, executed in Oklahoma yesterday, convulsed and vomited after receiving the first dose. He says the reaction continued for several minutes after midazolam was administered. Eventually, Grant was declared unconscious and given 2 other doses. Oklahoma Corrections says Grant died at 4:21 in the afternoon. Oklahoma used midazolam for an execution in 2014, and that death row inmate twitched, convulsed, and even spoke. Grant was killed hours after the Supreme Court vacated a ruling that had stayed the execution.
Today, the FDA officially granted emergency use authorization for Pfizer coronavirus vaccine in children ages 5 to 11. That is just the first step. On Tuesday, vaccine advisors for the Centers for Disease Control will meet to decide whether they will recommend the vaccine for that age group. The final decision will fall to the CDC Director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky. The FDA-approved dose for children under 12 is just 1/3 of the dose for children for those 12 and older. The vaccines will be administered as soon as the CDC signs off on them. Yesterday, Mississippi pre-ordered 50,000 vaccines for the age group in anticipation that they will soon be able to administer them.
And in more vaccine news, at least 89% of those who receive the COVID-19 vaccine will be eligible for a booster shot. According to CNN, 89% of vaccinated Americans are eligible for boosters once enough time passes after their original vaccination. This includes everyone who received a Johnson & Johnson shot. All those people qualify for a booster 2 months after their original dose. Those who received Moderna or Pfizer can get a booster at least 6 months after their second shot if they are older than 65 or at high risk for COVID-19. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that includes anyone who smokes, is overweight, has anxiety, depression, or other medical conditions. It also includes certain occupations like teachers and healthcare workers.
And coming up in sports, the Rebel football team is looking to carry their momentum into tomorrow's matchup when they take on the Auburn Tigers. And Rebel basketball player Shakira Austin continues to haul in national honors. Find out more up next in sports.
Hi. Can I get the Now Bar, please?
No problem. $1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hi, can I get a Now Bar, please?
$1.
Thanks.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, let me get a Now Bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
How's it going? Can I get a Now Bar?
Hey, stop right there! Get down on the ground! Out of your spot, right? Keep there! Come over your head!
times during class and I tell her to talk to him. And it's like, oh, ew.
It's time to make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines. The dangerous new Delta variant is more than twice as contagious as the original virus and can affect anyone. Right now, 9 out of 10 hospitalizations and deaths from COVID are among unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated might save your life, and there's now an option that's fully approved by the FDA. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org.
We've got a scary good weekend of Rebel athletics ahead of us. Let's start things off on the gridiron. The number 10 ranked Ole Miss football team will travel to Alabama for a top 20 SEC showdown with the number 19 Auburn Tigers. Ole Miss comes into this game riding a wave of momentum. Despite injury concerns, quarterback Matt Corral looked great in last week's victory against LSU, and he will need to be at the top of his game tomorrow. The Rebels ran all over LSU last week for 266 rushing yards, and they will clash with an Auburn squad that has relied on the run all season, so expect a ground-and-pound physical game of football. This will be a real test for the Ole Miss defense. They are a unit that has gelled the past few weeks, and they will need to hold strong against an offensive attack that will try and wear them down. The stage is set for a great game. Kickoff from Jordan-Hare Stadium is at 6 p.m. You don't want to miss this. And excitement for the upcoming basketball season is building by the day, and the Rebels are already attracting national attention. Earlier today, senior center Shakira Austin was placed on the Lisa Leslie Preseason Award watch list. The award is given every season to the nation's best center, and she was one of only 20 players on the list. This is Austin's third season in a row on the list, and she will be the leader of Coach Yo's squad this season. Expect to see Shakira dominate the competition this year and continue to add to her list of accolades. Now, kicking things over to the soccer field, the Rebels suffered a tough loss yesterday to arch rival Mississippi State. The team came in ranked number 16, and they got off to a slow start, conceding a goal in the first 5 minutes, but they battled back and equalized before halftime. The Rebels took the lead early in the second half, but 2 late goals propelled the Bulldogs to a 3-2 victory. Despite the loss, Ole Miss keeps the number 3 seed in the upcoming SEC tournament, and they square off with 6-seeded Alabama on Tuesday. Catch all that action on the SEC network. And now serving things up on the volleyball court, the Rebels are coming in hot off of 2 straight sweeps against Missouri. Their next opponent is South Carolina. The Rebs come in at 15-5 overall, and they will host a Gamecock squad that is 12-8 overall. Look for libero Riley Fisher to make another statement this game. She had 20 digs in the Rebs last game, the most by an Ole Miss libero in any game so far this season. Despite trailing the all-time series with the Gamecocks 28-18, the Rebs will look to flip the script this weekend. The action begins tonight at 6 p.m. And now some big news regarding the cross-country team. The men's and women's teams both traveled to Missouri to compete in the SEC Championship earlier today. On a rainy morning with wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour, the men's and women's squad both finished runner-up. Coaches were very pleased with the outcome, and the Rebs put the country on notice and were neck and neck with some highly ranked programs. This caps off a hard-fought and successful SEC season for the cross-country program. Despite some adversity, they battled hard and competed with some of the top programs in the nation. And that's all I've got for sports. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at rebel_watch for the latest sports updates.
Thanks, Carson. And the folks on Capitol Hill, just like NewsWatch, are getting in on the Halloween fun as well.
Senator Mitt Romney's costume in particular is turning heads. See who he dressed up as coming up on NewsWatch.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
We are rebels. For more than 160 years, we've been accomplishing the impossible, from conducting the world's first lung transplant to helping prove Einstein was right. From preserving the past to saving the future. We are Mississippi's flagship university, a place where passion and learning unite, where friends become family, where small-town charm meets world-class innovation. We are the University of Mississippi. We are Ole Miss.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Senator Mitt Romney dressed up as fictional coach Ted Lasso for a little Halloween fun in Washington, D.C. The Utah Republican tweeted photos of himself in costume, fake mustache, and all. In one photo, he's paying a visit to Senator Kyrsten Sinema for, quote, biscuits with the boss. That is a highly recognizable moment from the Apple TV Plus hit.
Dressing as American football coach Ted Lasso as he takes on Britain was somewhat of a full-circle moment for Romney. He was also paying homage to actor Jason Sudeikis, who plays the title role. And Sudeikis played Romney during his time on Saturday Night Live. Romney tweeted at the actor, "After 10 years, I'm finally returning the favor."
And longtime viewers of NewsWatch Ole Miss will realize that we are not clad in our normal garb. And I have to say, Lila, the outfit looks great on you. You look great. I love the whole get up.
Thank you so much. And you're rocking that costume.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No one said anything about my costume, but I'm a cat. And yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but Ole Miss, the Rebels will be playing a form of cat this weekend. They'll be playing the Tigers again. And Carson, should they be as scared of LSU as I'm sure passerbys are scared of me?
No, I don't think so. I think we win by a touchdown. I think Bo Nix gets pressured a lot, and yeah, Rebels by a touchdown tomorrow.
All right. Well, that's all we have for NewsWatch tonight. I'm Gavin Norton.
And I'm Lila.